respect with and promote in every way the volunteers. I mean, it is the Country Fire Authority Act is written, as including the way it deals with the volunteer charter, it's written for the purpose of an organisation that is largely a volunteer organisation. It reflects that. Now, what is being proposed is clearly at odds with that, and that is why you've seen so much protest, so much objection, so much affront being caused. And look, can I just say to you, I think there is a sinister purpose here from the state government. I'll be very frank with you. All of these men and women are volunteers. They're not paid to do it. They've all got plenty of other calls on their time. They're doing it because of their big hearts and their love of their community. If you drain away from a volunteer organisation the autonomy, the sense of self-respect, the sense of self-control of those volunteers, then you will discourage recruitment. You reduce morale, you demoralise the volunteers, and over time you'll have fewer and fewer people volunteering for this service. So when you have a volunteer organisation like this that has been so successful, that is so large, attempting to demoralise it is extremely dangerous, because you undermine the motivation of people to join the CFA. Like Don introduced me to one of the members of his crew, a young lady who's been in the CFA for a few years. Her generation, are they going to be motivated to join if they feel that they're just going to be running around and doing what they're told by the union, that they're not going to be in charge, that they're not going to actually have positions of leadership? Are they? Well, you know the answer to that. You demoralise a volunteer organisation and over time it will decline. Now that is something that every Victorian should be very, very concerned about. So there is a very deep long-term risk here with what Daniel Andrews is proposing, a very deep, dangerous long-term risk to the safety of Victoria. And that is why Michaela and I and Tony and all of our federal colleagues, working hand in hand with Matt Guy and his state colleagues, are determined to stand with these volunteers and ensure that their great tradition, their great commitment is supported for not just for now, but for generations to come, so that when there is a 12-year-old boy or a 16-year-old girl who wants to help their father or their mother today, just like Don did all those years ago, they will be inspired and motivated as his generation was. And they'll do that because they have a sense of dignity and autonomy and leadership. And if that's undermined, you put at risk that spirit of volunteerism, you put at risk the safety of Victorians. We stand with Victoria, we stand with the safety of Victorians, and we stand with the volunteers of the CFA. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've been listening to the Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull along with the Employment Minister Michaela Cash weighing in to the Country Fire Association, Authority I should say, dispute in Victoria where they're proposing legislation.